So hello dear students, welcome to Bajirao Ias Academy interview guidance program. So in this lecture, we will be discussing about a very recent topic. So that is, so in the backdrop of recent Middle East conflict or Middle East tensions in the region, we recently see attacks and counter-attacks by Iran and Pakistan. So both these countries are neighbors. So since India has a lot of, India is a regional power, and India has maintaining a friendly ties with Iran, and the regional peace and stability is very important, especially for India. So therefore, in this context, we need to understand what exactly the problem. So why Iran attacked Pakistan and why Pakistan attacked Iran again. So what are the geopolitics which are being involved in this attacks and counter attacks? So how can we relate this with the ongoing Middle East crisis? So what India's response in this context? What is China's response in this context? We will understand this in a detailed way. Now, firstly, understand, so what is the issue? Okay, so very briefly, Pakistan and Iran have conducted strikes on each other. So I hope you all of you have a basic idea about this. So right, Pakistan and Iran have conducted strikes on each other territories. So that has led to the escalation of hostilities between the neighbors. So we know that both Iran and Pakistan are neighbors. So they are our western neighbors, even though we do not have a direct border with Iran, but Iran is extended neighbor. Okay, so it is part of our extended neighborhood, right? So these attacks among Pakistan and Iran have led to the escalation of hostilities in the region. Okay, so this is very significant in the context of there is a conflict in Middle East. Okay, so we know that the Iran-backed Houthi rebels have been attacking US-based ships or Israel ally countries' ships in Red Sea and the Arabian Sea. And Indian Navy have deployed the Indian Navy has deployed the vessels to protect the ships. So therefore, in this context, it is very important to understand these regional dynamics, these regional geopolitics. So these two countries, both Iran and Pakistan, actually share a volatile border. Okay, so this is not a peaceful border, rather it is a volatile border where each country have concerns with respect to other side. Okay, so for example, Iran claims that Pakistan has been hosting terrorists, anti-Iran terrorists who are taking shelter in Pakistan and attacking Iran territory and Iran civilians. So similarly, Pakistan has also come up with the same stance. So therefore, it is a volatile border between these two countries, and the border is around 900 kilometers or 560 miles. So with Pakistan's Baluchestan province is one side and Iran's Sistan and Balochistan province on the other side. Okay, so if you carefully understand, so this is Pakistan's Balochistan province. I hope you know about this. And this side of Iran, so this is Iran, and on the Irani side also there is a Sistan and Balochistan province. So each of these countries have claims and counterclaims about the terrorist organization sheltering in each other's territory. For example, the Balochistan separatist groups, of Pakistan have been taking shelter in Iran, and there were separate insurgent and separatist groups based in Pakistan. They are fighting against Iran. So therefore, we can say that there are claims and counterclaims against this. So therefore, in this backdrop, we have to understand that, okay, so in this backdrop, so both nations have long fought militants in their restive Baloch region across the border. Okay, so the Baloch border or Baloch region on each side of the border. Okay, so they have militants have been taking shelter and militants have been attacking the other side. So if they are taking shelter in Iran and they are attacking Pakistan, and if they are in Pakistan, they are attacking Iran. So the latest strikes have come as Iran's allies and proxies in the Middle East. Okay, so for example, Iran's proxy is Houthi. So it has been attacking vessels of Israel and its allies, particularly US. And Iran's ally, Lebanon, Hezbollah, has been fighting with Israel. So therefore, Iran's allies and proxies in the Middle East, they have been fighting, a resistance movement. So they have been launched attacks on Israeli forces and its allies against the backdrop of war in Gaza. Right? So there was a war in Gaza, and in response to war in Gaza, Iran's allies and proxies have been fighting with different powers. So in a similar sense, recently Iran has also attacked militant bases in Iraq and Syria. And after that, in the next day itself, Iran also attacked the Pakistan side. So saying that Pakistan has been hosting anti-Iran terrorist organization or terrorist groups in the Balochistan region. So because of this reason, we have conducted missile strike. So we need to understand what has happened in this context. So Iran has conducted strikes in Pakistan's Balochistan province. Okay, so this is Pakistan's Balochistan province, and Iran has conducted strikes in Pakistan's Balochistan province. And according to Pakistan's statement, so it has led to the killing of 2 children and wounding of several others. So this is what Pakistan has said about Iran's strikes. So however, if you look at the statement given by the Iran, it says that only targeted Iranian terrorists on the soil of Pakistan. Okay, so it has only targeted Iranian terrorists, but not Pakistani civilians, but terrorists who are in Pakistan soil. So it has said that Iran has not targeted any Pakistani civilian or national. So Iran says that it had targeted the strongholds of the Sunni militant group Jaish al-Adl. So it is also known as Jaish al-Dulm or Army of Justice. Now here, if you understand, Iran is primarily a Shia majority country, but on the other hand, Pakistan is a Sunni majority country, and these are 2 sects within Islam. Okay, so there's a constant conflict between these 2 sects within Islam. So therefore, this Jaish al-Adl is known as a Sunni militant group. So Sunni militant group has sponsored attacks in Iran, and it is now sheltered in Pakistan, and Iran has conducted these strikes against the Sunni militant group called Jaish al-Dulm or Army of Justice. And if you look at the history of these separatist groups, so they are not just located in Pakistan, but they are located on both sides of this border. Okay, so the militant group operates on both sides of the Iran-Pakistan border, and it has previously claimed responsibility of attacks against Iranian targets. Okay, so earlier also this very same militant group has conducted attacks against Iran. So it has claimed the responsibility for such attacks. So the overall goal of the this particular militant group or militant organization is independence for Iran's Sistan and Baluchestan province. Okay, so this is Iran's Sistan and Baluchestan province, and this militant group want independence of Sistan and Baluchestan province from Iran. Okay, so because of this reason, this terrorist organization has getting shelter from Pakistan. Okay, so this is what Iran's version. However, if you look at the Pakistan, it is a nuclear armed power. So it is nuclear armed power, but it is a Sunni majority country, and this is a dominant branch of Islam. And if you look at Iran and its axis of resistance, it is largely Shia majority group. Okay, so Iran and other, for example, Houthi and even Hezbollah, so they are Shia sect. They belong to Shia sect. Okay, so in this context also, it is very significant because it can be considered as a fight between two sects within, Islam. Now, what's the border conflict? We have to understand this as well. So the Baloch people have spelled as, we have to understand this Balochistan separatist issue. So this is very important, particularly with respect to Pakistan. We all know where the Balochistan is located. This is the Balochistan region of Pakistan. Okay, this is Balochistan province. It is the largest province of Pakistan. It has been sharing its borders with Afghanistan, Iran, and Arabian Sea on the southern side. So therefore, the Baloch people, who spelled as Baloch, where Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran meet. Okay, so so in this region, Pakistan, Iran and Afghanistan meet. So this region is called as Baloch region, right? Right. So the Baloch people have long exhibited the fiercely independent streak. So they have a very long, they have been demanding for separate Balochistan state, and they have always resented being ruled by either Iran or Pakistan. Okay, so so since they have opposed the rule of either Pakistan and Iran, insurgencies have bubbled across the porous border region for decades. So this has led to the insurgency and rise of militant groups, and these militant groups are getting shelter on each other's territory is something which is a very concerning issue with respect to Iran and Pakistan, and even with the region. So the area where they live, the Baloch people, is actually considered as rich in natural resources. For example, crude oil or any other natural resources. So this region is considered as rich in natural resources. So however, the Baloch separatists actually complain that their people, some of the region's poorest, okay, so despite the region is known for natural resources, but region is still considered as poor. There's no infrastructure for the people, and still there are human rights violations. There's no infrastructure, education, healthcare facilities for the people, and still different sections of Pakistan see Baloch people as second grade citizens, and even the wealth which is being exploited from this region is actually not trickled down to the communities, and this has led to the rise of resentment among the people of Balochistan against both Iran and Pakistan. So that has led to the growth of these militant and insurgent groups. So Balochistan is actually Pakistan's largest province by area. Okay, so this is the largest province by area, and it has witnessed a spat of deadly attacks in recent years. Okay, so since there's a rise of insurgency, rise of militant groups, so it has also seen deadly attacks. So they are primarily focusing on attacking the government officials, military personnel. Okay, so they have been even now they have even targeting the Chinese citizens, because China has been investing heavily in this region. So the Baloch people feel that it will lead to the exploitation of resources and exploitation of people and human rights violations. So because of this reason, recently we also see attacks on Chinese citizens. Okay, so in fact, the separatists who demand independence from the country, independence from Pakistan, the Baloch separatists, so they angered by what they say, the monopoly and exploitation of region's mineral resources. So they feel that Pakistan has been exploiting the mineral resources, but the wealth which is being extracted from these mineral resources is actually not spent on the people of Balochistan. So this has led to the resentment, and this has led to the growth of militant organizations. So now even when we talk about Iran, several Arab and Kurdish, Baluch insurgent groups have also responsible for attacks across Iran. So they have been demanding independence. So they have been demanding secession, separation from Iran. So both Iran and Pakistan have been facing the similar problems. Okay, so this is largely responsible for attacks and counterattacks against each other. Now we have to understand what's the way forward in this context. So we cannot say that with the attacks and counter attacks, this came to an end. Okay, so this came to an end. So there may be regional instability, further continues. Particularly, the region has been facing a lot of issues, starting from Middle East and recent attacks on vessels by the militant groups. And we can say that this is a kind of a spillover effect of this Middle Eastern issue to South Asia and further deep, right? So this is not good for the stability and peace in the region. Okay, so India also have key stakes in the region, particularly with respect to Afghanistan and Iran, and India's access to Central Asia depends on stability and peace in Iran. So therefore, it is very important that India always want peace and stability of the region, right? So the strikes between these two countries have led to the diplomatic spat. So Pakistan has actually recalled ambassador from Iran, and it even suspended all high-level visits from its neighbor. So this is what Pakistan has done after Iran's strikes on Pakistani territory. Now the Pakistan strikes, even Pakistan has also struck back Iran, and Iran has sought immediate explanation from its neighbor. So this is what has been happened so far. And two of the regional powers, for example, India's response to this issue was actually, it is considered as a bilateral issue between Iran and Pakistan. Okay, so therefore it has refrained to comment on this issue. India has refrained to comment on this issue, but for India, the objective is peace and stability of its neighborhood and even the extended neighborhood. So India cannot afford these issues. Now we have been facing the issue at the Middle East, and now the Iran-Pakistan conflict. So China has also responded that both countries should maintain the restraint. Okay, so this is what the response of China and India on this conflict. Okay, so overall it may have the spillover effects going ahead if this conflict further continues. Okay, so that's all about the Iran and Pakistan issue. So that's it for this lecture. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and also hit the like button. Thank you.